Powered by Riverside FM.
Welcome to another edition of Unconventional Playbook. Please hit that like and subscribe button to continue to help the station grow. Message to Minnesota Viking fans, man, because I've been guilty of this, and so I wanted to get on and just give Minnesota Viking fans the time to just kind of self-reflect on what's been going on with the whole Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy, who do you keep, who do you play, all that kind of stuff, man. And I'm just telling you right now, here's my message to all of Skoll Nation out there, Minnesota Vikings Nation and UP Nation. Here's what I would tell you, man. We've got to chill. We've got to chill a little bit with the whole Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy. And the reason why I say this is because we're letting a just fabulous season just go by, worrying about things that we can worry about later. We've got one of the biggest games, if not the biggest regular season game in Minnesota Vikings history coming up on Sunday. Man, this game is going to be epic. Did you see the Vegas over-under for the game? I think last I saw it was 56. Over-under 56 points. That means it's going to be a shootout. You got two teams that are playing well. The unstoppable force versus the immovable object. I mean, this is going to be epic. People, this is going to be epic. And it's been flexed to a Sunday night game. You don't get any better than that. Minnesota Vikings versus Detroit Lions. There's so many things to enjoy about this season. Number one, we got the best playmaker in the game in Justin Jefferson. Nobody can touch Justin Jefferson. I mean, I keep hearing names, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I keep hearing Jamar Chase. I keep hearing all C.D. Lamb. I keep hearing all these dudes, man. None of these dudes are in the same stratosphere as Justin Jefferson. I mean, Purple Nation. We've got to enjoy this cat, man. We've got to enjoy Justin Jefferson. Here's the thing that I like about Justin Jefferson. And I said this in previous podcasts, but there's been plenty of times where Justin Jefferson hasn't gotten the ball maybe as much as he would have wanted. Hasn't gotten the ball maybe as much as I want, or any of Minnesota Vikings Nation wanted. I remember having tons of shows where people are writing in talking about how can we get Justin Jefferson the ball. I was a little concerned. I mean, I was a big-time concerned. I was like, KOC, you got to figure this out, man. I don't want this guy to get disgruntled. But here's the thing about Justin Jefferson. The dude is class personified. There is no getting disgruntled when it comes to JJ. Justin Jefferson. I mean, I've seen, just watching some college football over the weekend and some of the NFL games over the previous week, some of these diva wide receivers, man, they could get in the face of their head coaches. They could get in the face of their quarterbacks. Man, that puts a lot of just unnecessary pressure on the player, meaning the quarterback and the game. When you have somebody throwing their helmet on the sideline, getting up in your face, trying to look at your tablet, here he comes. Hey, man, you got to find a way to get me the ball. Man, you don't see any of that from JJ. And you could argue, man, that this kind of his actions has really helped Sam Darnold not have that pressure on him. Can you imagine if JJ got disgruntled every time he didn't get a pass where he wanted to get a pass, or had maybe like a 2-reception game like JJ did against the Bears? I mean, you could have some issues. You could have some problems. That puts, just unacceptable pressure on Sam Darnold, and maybe he starts to force feed that ball in there. Sam Darnold is feeding everybody, and that's a direct correlation to Justin Jefferson and what type of teammate he is. It's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing to watch. There's so many good things, Viking Nations. Aaron Jones, you remember Madison? We had to deal with Madison. Last year, couldn't, always running into the back of his offensive line, couldn't get positive yards. I love the way the Packers, when we signed Aaron Jones, I love that they said, oh, well, the first thing he's going to do is he's going to be hurt. He's not going to play the whole season. Aaron Jones has played every game this season. Has he been dinged up? Absolutely. But there's plenty of running backs that's been dinged up in the league, and Aaron Jones has showed up for every game. He got dinged up last game against the Green Bay Packers, and what did he come out and say this week? I'll be ready for the Detroit Lions. Now, we got to enjoy these dudes, man. Think about it, Viking fans. Think about it. How many times have we put together back-to-back magical seasons? There's always been like these isolated seasons where we do really well and we come back the next year and we're back. We come back down to earth. Middle of the pack team, maybe having a bad season, a rash of injuries like we had last year. Remember KOC's first year? Fast forward that to KOC's season last season. Wasn't the same as his first year. And this is why we got to enjoy it, man. We're worrying about whether or not we're going to keep Sam Darnold or J.J. McCarthy. Let's enjoy Sam Darnold now. Has there been a change in plans? Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I think Sam Darnold was brought in here to be one and done. Kwesi didn't like the term bridge quarterback, but that's essentially what Sam Darnold was brought here to be. Whatever term you want to use, he was a bridge quarterback. That's what he was. And now he has turned into something special, and the Minnesota Vikings, they've got to adjust to that. Don't buy what they're telling you in the national media because they're not going to tell you the truth, but there has been a change of plans behind the scenes. Now, we don't know what that change of plans is going to be. Franchise tag, multi-year deal, let him walk, compensatory pick, lots of different options, big signing bonus. But Minnesota Vikings Nation, man, let's enjoy the season. Let's enjoy these next couple of days, prognosticating the game on Sunday, talking trash to Detroit Lions fans. No, we're worried about the wrong things right now. The whole JJ and Sam Darnold franchise tag thing, man, that stuff's going to work itself out when it needs to be worked out, when the offseason comes, but it's not the offseason yet. We got to enjoy this thing because there are no guarantees, man. There are no guarantees for next season. Who knows? There's a lot of variables that can happen. Sam Darnold could chase the money. Maybe JJ's knee doesn't come back right. Maybe JJ struggles, but the present is what's important because we've got a 14-2 football team to support against a banged-up Detroit Lions team for the number 1 seed. Can you imagine what U.S. Bank Stadium would be like if we got home field advantage for the duration? Can you imagine the Skoll? Can you imagine the percentage in terms of who's the favorite to go to the Super Bowl if that Minnesota Vikings team that doesn't have to go outside, that doesn't have to travel to Philadelphia, that doesn't have to travel to Ford Field? They are at, and let me tell you this, man, being a college basketball coach, I have learned a lot. And the one thing that is true is being on the road affects you in different ways. Hotel stays, the food that you eat, travel itinerary, all that stuff. If the Minnesota Vikings fall to the 5th seed, that stuff comes into play. There is a direct advantage to being able to be snuggy-wuggy in your own bed, Minnesota Viking fans. And that's what the players want, eating their own food around their own facilities, not having to worry about transportation and itineraries and all that stuff, just getting ready to ball at home in the friendly confines of U.S. Bank Stadium. This game is really important. I know the Vikings are trying to downplay it. You ask KOCs like, this is, the game is important, but we're going to treat this like, it's just another game. We just want to go 1-0. No, this is different, man. This is for the number 1 seed because it increases your chances of hitting the promised land. And they can do all the coach talk they want. I respect it. But I know the real. And I'm going to give UP Nation the real. Man, this is the biggest game in the Minnesota Vikings regular season that they have ever had. Because this is different. This is different than some of the flash in the pan seasons that we had before. This is not the same as the Case Keenum season. You got a legit vertical threat quarterback that can spin the rock. You've got multiple weapons on the outside in terms of wide receivers. You got a legitimate running threat in Aaron Jones, and you have Mr. Dr. Frankenstein and B-Flow with that defense. Man, you put all of that into the right environment, which is U.S. Bank Stadium for the duration of the playoffs, and you got some. Nobody wants to come to U.S. Bank Stadium and play the Minnesota Vikings. With that Skoll chant and the weapons that we have and the fan base that we have, man, you can give that up. So over the last couple of weeks, talking about trading J.J. McCarthy and where is Sam Darnold going to go franchise. Like, listen, man, I'm telling UP Nation and Minnesota Viking fans, chill. Let's slow it down. And let's enjoy these next couple of days. Put away the Sam Darnold, J.J. McCarthy trade rumors, franchise tag rumors, and let's get ready for Sunday. Let's be Purple Nation. Let's go down to Detroit and move them off the block. See, we about to move them off the block. When you want to take over new territory, which is the NFC North, you got to move people that have been on the block. You got to move them off the block. And that's what the Minnesota Vikings are about to do to the Detroit Lions. We're about to move them off the block. It's time for them to go. I hope they had a good time for the past year, being the kings of the block, almost reaching the Super Bowl. You missed your window, partner. Because Viking Nation is about to come, and we are about to move the Detroit Lions off the block. They're in our way. And so we're about to move them off the block. Enjoy the season, UP Nation, Purple Nation. Everything that needs to be worked out will be worked out when the time is right. Man, am I looking forward to this game on Sunday. I'm looking forward to this game on Sunday. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Continue to help that station to grow. This has been Unconventional Playbook, the UP Latre. Take us home, man.
I don't know who I am. Can I say I'm a man? Am I losing my mind? Am I wasting my time? Do I know who I am?